God TV family around the world, the news from Israel is desperate in many ways, and the aggression from Iran is something that we in the West, I'm not sure that we understand. If every night you and I went to bed knowing that bombs were raining down and that the only thing that could save us is the grace of God, then perhaps we would show more prayer, more faithfulness towards the will and purpose of God, as we stand with brothers and sisters on the ground, indeed on the ground in both sides, that peace would prevail. Well, to learn more about this crisis, we're joined by journalist from Jerusalem, Nicole Jansezian. Nicole, I wonder if you can give us an update for what is going on right now on the ground there in Jerusalem.
Okay, Fergus, thank you so much, and thank you for your prayers, and to all the God TV family. We really appreciate it. What's happening now, we're really living in unprecedented times, because these attacks from, first of all, Israel made it a historic and unprecedented attack on Iran on Thursday night, Friday morning, and the attacks were so extensive and extremely well planned. This is something that obviously must have been in Israel's military books for years. They had intelligence on the ground. They had agents on the ground. They had a drone facility on the ground that would take out Iranian launchers, knowing that that there was going to be a response. And so since then, we've basically been sitting tight, waiting for and anticipating this Iranian response. And it has come. We've had the missiles that they are capable of sending to Israel are faster, stronger, more powerful than anything we've experienced, especially in the last 2 years with getting rockets from Hamas, missiles from Hezbollah, long-distance missiles from the Houthis in Yemen. But these Iranian missiles have proved to be extremely powerful and deadly. And so all of Israel is on high alert right now as we wait and see, how this actually plays out.
Nicole, as we look from the comfort or relative comfort on the West, I'm not sure that we understand even the reason behind this preemptive attack. It is said and confessed internationally that in fact Iran was very, very close to having the capability and capacity for actual nuclear weapons. How does it feel to be sitting under the shadow of that potential threat?
Right. I think Israelis who have known that this is a possibility for decades, that one day this possibility would come. And it's interesting just that the timing, that it seems, somewhat out of the blue, that or maybe there, the political stars aligned for Prime Minister Netanyahu to finally take this action. It's something that he's been threatening, and not just him, but even other prime ministers and other politicians in the opposition. It's something that I think that Israel is on the same page. Israelis, from different sides of the political spectrum are on the same page regarding this strike. And but now we have to see what Israel does. Will Israel follow through to the end? What is their definition of ultimate victory? And what will the Iranians settle for? Will they want to negotiate? Will they want to continue to strike in response? And then the other question right now that we even are awaking to now is whether America will join Israel. Because for Israel to really complete this mission of taking out the nuclear sites, they need some weapons from America. They need the B-52. They need those bunker buster bombs. They need to be able to take out the underground sites that are in Iran. So this is all, we are literally sitting here waiting to see how it plays out.
Wow, Nicole, not only are you a Christian journalist based for many years in Jerusalem, but you're also a wife and a mum. And I've seen from your reporting online how standing in stairwells, rushing down the stairs, turning off the supper, getting kids with their blankets to go into the basement. How do you manage when the phones go off and the crisis you're alerted to? What do you do?
Great question. We've been under some sort of threat for a year and a half since October 7th, and it's become normalized. And so that, I don't know if that's okay. I'd love to hear from psychologists what they think of that. But there is some sort of normalcy to that. And I know that there are children and others around the country. Everybody takes this a different way. And some people are in severe states of anxiety and trauma and stress. But I could say, thank God, I don't know how or why my kids are handling it well. They know the drill. It's almost a joke in some ways. Like we have the little inside jokes about putting wages on whether they're going to strike tonight or at what time. My daughter said the other day, "Oh, I know why the Houthis didn't send a missile." There was a Muslim holiday about 2 weeks ago, and she said, it's the Eid. So, they took the holiday off. I laughed. I was like, oh my gosh. Sure enough, that night when it was over, there was a missile from Yemen. So I was like, you were right. But they know the drill. We have also, thank God, a warning system. There's the sirens, but there's the pre-sirens. So now we have about 20 minutes knowing that Israel has detected a launch from Iran. And so you've got about 20 minutes to be around the shelter. So even like one night, the first alert went off, which is like an Amber Alert. It just kind of like blares into your lives, wakes you up. Doesn't matter if your phone's on silent. So we all, sat in front of the TV waiting to see if then the sirens were going to come to our area, and they didn't. And then one of my kids said, "Oh, darn, I wanted to go hang out with the neighbors." I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, go back to bed, kids. So anyway, everybody handles it a different way, and we've chosen humor to help us get through. I hope it lasts.
We hope it lasts. Before we let you go, Nicole, please know that we as the God TV family around the world are praying for you, for brothers and sisters, the Messianic believers across Israel, and indeed that peace would prevail across the Middle East. How can we as the body of Christ in other parts of the world pray for you and your family and indeed this situation?
This is so much appreciated. And I would like to say that first and foremost, safety for civilians that are involved, because the death toll so far in Israel is all civilians. But I want to turn to Iran, because I think maybe the biggest prayer point and the most powerful answer to prayer would be for something to happen there. The people, from the reports that I've heard and from what I've been able to report in interviews that I've done, the Iranian people want change, and they see their own regime as an enemy as much as Israel does. And so these people need relief. They've been living under the threat of their government for 40 years, whereas we've been living under a threat for just a short time in comparison. And I think that they are looking for freedom, and I think that your prayers there toward them would be much appreciated as well during this conflict.
Nicole Jansezian, based in Jerusalem, we bless you, we thank you, and we honor you. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Fergus.